Hello everyone, and welcome to Letters of Paul to the Philippines, where we proclaim, analyze, understand, and learn. On February 18, 2026, we begin the sacred season of Lent with Ash Wednesday. Ashes on our forehead, silence in our hearts, a call to return. And today's message feels like something out of Avatar, Fire and Ash, where fire consumes, ash remains, and what rises next depends on what we choose to become. Let's proclaim the word. The prophet Joel cries out, "Return to me with your whole heart. Rend your hearts, not your garments. Not tear your clothes, tear your heart open." Joel describes a nation in crisis, scorched, devastated, stripped down. For context, the book of Joel was written after a devastating locust plague that struck Judah, destroying crops, causing famine, economic collapse, and religious disruption, because grain and wine offerings for the temple could no longer be made. It was like a land touched by fire, reduced to ash. Joel interprets it not just as a natural event, but as a spiritual wake-up call, a sign of the day of the Lord, a time of judgment, but also of possible salvation. And God says, "Return to me, for I am gracious and merciful." Even in ruin, mercy remains. Psalm 51 responds, "Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. A clean heart create for me, O God." Not just behavior modification, heart transformation. Then St. Paul declares in 2 Corinthians, "We are ambassadors for Christ. Be reconciled to God." Now is the acceptable time. Now is the day of salvation. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. And in the Gospel, Jesus gives us the Lenten pillars. Pray, but in secret. Fast, but without drama. Give, but without applause. No spiritual performance, no religious showmanship, just authentic return to the Father. In Fire and Ash, fire represents destruction, but also purification. Ash represents what remains after everything false has burned away. Ash Wednesday is exactly that. Ashes mean your pride can burn away, your ego can burn away, your sin can burn away. But here's the question: what will remain after the fire? Joel says, "Rend your hearts." God is not interested in external drama. He wants internal surrender. In the Gospel, Jesus warns against spiritual hypocrisy. Don't blow a trumpet when giving. Don't look miserable when fasting. Don't pray to impress, because fire exposes what is fake. If our faith is only performance, the fire of Lent will turn it to ash. But if our faith is rooted in humility, the ash becomes fertile soil. Think about this. Ash is not just a symbol of death. Ash fertilizes the ground for new life. After volcanic eruptions, land becomes more fertile. After forest fires, new growth eventually comes. So Ash Wednesday is not about despair. It's about preparing the soil of your soul. St. Paul says, we are ambassadors for Christ. An ambassador represents a kingdom. But how can we represent Christ if our hearts are divided? How can we proclaim light if we are attached to darkness? Lent is spiritual detox. Lent is inner recalibration. Lent is letting the false self burn so the true self can rise. The Missalette introduction says, guided by the Spirit, we begin a journey of sincere conversion. Conversion is not emotion. It is decision. In Filipino culture, we are expressive. We love visible devotion, processions, images, public prayer. But Jesus today challenges us. Go to your inner room. Close the door. Pray in secret. The real battlefield is inside. In Fire and Ash, conflict is not only external, tribes, elements, environments, it is internal, identity, loyalty, and balance. Ash Wednesday asks, what in me needs to burn? What habits must turn to ash? What attachments keep me from God? Pope Leo XIV recently urged people to fast from cruelty in speech, especially this coming Lent. He calls for a practical abstinence, refraining from harsh words, rash judgment, slander, gossip, and online insults. Instead, he encourages kindness and respect, so words of hatred give way to hope and peace. By guarding our tongues, he says, we gain strength, uplift the suffering and poor, and help build a civilization of love. Psalm 51 gives us the prayer, a clean heart create for me, O God. Notice, we do not create our own clean heart. God does. Our part is surrender. Fire purifies gold. Ash humbles the proud. Mercy restores the broken. And Joel gives hope. Perhaps he will leave behind a blessing. That word perhaps is powerful. It invites trust. When we return to God, blessing follows. Maybe not comfort, maybe not wealth, but transformation. So what can we learn this Ash Wednesday? Number 1, return wholeheartedly. Not halfway, not selectively, whole heart. Number 2, practice hidden holiness. Your Father sees in secret. Number 3, act now. Now is the day of salvation. Number 4, let the fire refine you. Don't fear the burning of pride, resentment, addiction, laziness, because ash is not the end. Ash marks the beginning of resurrection. Remember, the same forehead marked with ash today, Ash Wednesday, will one day be anointed with resurrection glory. From fire to ash to new life. That is the rhythm of Lent. That is the journey of every disciple. That is the message of Ash Wednesday 2026. If this reflection helped you, please like, share, and subscribe to Letters of Paul to the Philippines, where we proclaim, analyze, understand, and learn the Word of God together. Comment below, what will you allow God to burn away this Lent? Let us journey together from fire and ash to Easter light. God bless you.